if you could do it. So a few facts on funding in Africa, just real quick. Last year there were 311 companies that secured a total of $591 million
This is just
in
startups.
funding. This is just startups.
This is not even-
This is strictly startups.
Okay.
And Kenya and Nigeria were the biggest hubs, gaining $149 million for Kenya and $122 million for Nigeria. That's like half of the pot
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah.
between Kenya and Nigeria. You know, punching above our weight. Total investors were around 261 in the region, and the top sector was fintech with 21% of funding.
That's lit, and there's
Big
a reason
numbers.
for that. There's a reason for that.
Okay, enlighten us.
There's a reason for that. You know, actually, I wanted to start off by first looking at not like the companies and not even the investors themselves, but the investors of those investors. Because when a venture capitalist or an early stage startup fund, when they invest in a firm, they're literally taking money from somewhere else and putting it in your firm, right? And so if you look at this types of investment vehicles, this types of venture capitalists, a lot of the ways they get their funds is from, you know, a group of people called LPs who basically just, you know, they're really, really like old institutional investors that have had money for a really long time and don't have a way to put this money into new exciting startups. So me as an aspiring fund manager come in and be like, hey, I can help you invest in this exciting early stage startups with minimal risk because I am an expert in this field. So they do that, and it takes a while. It takes a while to get all this, you know, old money into a fund that can be invested in startups, maybe like 3 years even. So I'm a fund manager. I've done 3 years, like, you know, they call it a roadshow. I've gotten money from across the world and now have my fund. I say Africa is an exciting place to set up. I set up in one of the major hubs, either Nigeria, South Africa, or Kenya, as you mentioned. And I'm like, all right, now let me invest in startups. So after that entire process, the way they invest in startups is they just want winners. They can't afford losers. They want winners. This is vis-a-vis, you know, the process in, like, you know, a Western country like, you know, the UK or America. Like, they won't take 3 years to raise a fund. They'll take like a couple of months, and there'll be more risk. Like, their appetite for risk will be much higher. Exactly.
Yeah.
So they'll want to, you know, they'll invest in like 10, and they'll be like, if only one wins, that's great.
That's good
But if
enough.
you're coming here, you're like, I'm investing in 10 and 11 have to win. Because it's that hard. It's that hard. So that really, really lowers the amount of people that are actually getting it. And yeah, we can move on to who actually gets this investment.
Yeah, who are the
Why?
winners?